長い間このままにするのはよく
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for participating in today's meetup. Let us in those people who is joining right now. So please give us 1 or 2 minutes more. Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's about the time. So let's start. Let's get started. Thank you very much for participating in today's meetup. And we already have about 27 people here, and it will be increasing more. Everyone, it's about the time. So okay, so let's start. Get started. So Dean-san, please introduce. Please start this meetup.
So hi everyone. Thank you very much for participating for today. So today we would like to talk about the IT jobs in Japan, especially for international talents, and also we're going to talk about the job market informations about Japan as well. So thank you very much for coming to join today. Thank you.
Okay. So good morning to you, madam. I'm Sudhir Kumar. I'm 23 years old. I live in Bakraur, Budagaya.
Hi.
I had completed my graduate in Magadha University, Bodh Gaya.
Hi, sorry. Sorry for interruption. It's not the self-introduction part yet. So please, can we let us go to the next part? Okay. So sorry about that.
So thank you very much again, and yeah, sorry for cutting you off, and we will continue with this. So before we start,
sorry, Dean-san, you're mute.
Hi. So thank you very much. Sorry about that. So before you start, please put your camera on and set your microphone to mute. And if you have any questions, you can always leave your questions in the chat. It's always welcome. And also in the end, we'll be taking a group photos and we'll be posting this on our SNS account for the meetup reports. So thank you very much. Hi. Hi, so today the presenter is me and Tomomi. So again, my name is Dean. I'm from Taiwan. And thank you very much. And Tomomi, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Okay, hi everybody. Good evening. My name is Tomomi, and I am working as a career consultant in CareerFly. And also I talk about with the company side too, to help them find the best candidate, best employees. Okay, so let's we will be today's host. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So for today's agenda, we'll be going through some introductions, and then we will also tell you about the job market informations in Japan in this last year, 2020 to 2021. And also we'll be showing you some job introductions. And then later we'll be telling you what's the process for the applications, and then some CQI introduction. and also questionnaire, and then we'll be closed for today. Thank you. So for today's goal, for everyone who joined this meeting, who joined this meetup, we would like to have the goal for everyone to be able to, or for people to be able to apply one positions in Japanese company. So thank you very much. All right, so we'll be moving into the session 1, the latest job market information in Japan, and I will hand over to Tomomi-san. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dean-san. So let me introduce about the latest job market information from my side. So by you telling the information, I want you to tell that it's a good idea. It's a good idea, of course, to think about working in Japan right now, even though the pandemic is actually in the last minute. And also, we would like to tell how IT engineer positions are hot position in Japan. So let's start from Japanese economies now. With this graph, you can see the transition of actual GDP growing ratio and predictions from 2015 to 2023. As you see, and as you could imagine, in 2020, with the pandemic, we had a very big drop of actual GDP growing ratio. But eventually, in 2021, 2022, we will get the economy back. This is a very good prediction. And when we focus on the colors, we can see the light blues and also blue, red, and dots and white. And let's focus on the light blue ones. So light blue color is representing the individual consumption. So in the during the pandemic, since people couldn't go out and spend money, the individual consumption actually got really big drop. But this year and also for the next year, it will gradually come back. And the darker blue represents the exports. Also with 2020, we had a very big drop with the exports, but this year and next year, it will gradually come back. So please feel relaxed about job hunting in Japan already to start already. Okay, so for the next presentation, you can see how employment has changed over these years. So with the graph you can see two things. First of all, the number of employee by industry and the number of employee by roles. Each one are the individuals in industries, and the colors represents the roles.
Hello.
So first of all, let's start with the industries. You can see that on the left side, you see the more like the positive numbers, and on the right side, you will see the negative numbers. And let me tell you the top 3 industries that gained more employees compared to last year. The top one is the hospital and medical and caring services. Second one is education and training. And third one is IT. And fourth one is actually real estate. And on the other hand, let's go to the right side, if you see the biggest drop, that is the hospitality and restaurants. And second one is manufacturing. And third one is services. And fourth one is wholesale and retail. So in the industries in the right side, we had a lot of loss of employees. But on the other hand, if you are in the left side industry, that economy was actually getting better. And for the next, let's focus on the colors. The blue one, it represents the specialists and technical roles. For example, IT engineers. You see more blue spaces in the left side industries. The reason is because these industries got digitalized by the pandemic situation. For example, medical things and all those stuff, since people couldn't go out, many company actually created the products. It's called, let's say, health cross tech industries. And then many users get into that domain and started using those platforms. And for the education, since people and also students couldn't go to the schools, most of the schools installed IT equipment and transferred to online classes. So many IT engineers and also IT products were installed for this domain. And IT domain, we don't have to actually explain about this. So for IT engineers and also specialist position, we had more growth of the employment. If you see the greens, that's service workers. For example, let's say the people in the waiters, or keeping attendants, those kind of people who actually give the service to the customers face to face. And if you see the purple, that's the factory workers or the person manufacturing domain people. So these domains actually got bad effects, but on the other hand, those specialists and IT people had more chances for the employment. And for the next, let's talk about the international talents working in Japan. This graph is the number of the working international talents in Japan by the years. You can see that more and more international talents are working in Japan. Even though during the pandemic, we had the growth of the number. The ratio of the growth was a little less than the other years, but still it was growing. And if we see the orange colored space, which is in the very bottom of the graph, that represents the number of the visa which is issued for the technical people and also specialist people. It's also increasing, but it's not the biggest number. Okay, so it is predicted that the more and more people with this visa will work in Japan. And let's see in which industry international talents are working. So if we see the total people who are working in Japan, the number is said that it's 1.7 million people working in Japan at the time of 2020 October. And out of that, 28% are working in manufacturing, and 13% are working wholesale and retail, and 11% of them are working hospitality and service. Do you remember the industry which got the worst effects by the COVID? Yes, these three were actually got bad effects by the pandemic. So if you have heard of like people who lost job in Japan, maybe they were working in this industry. But if you see the IT engineers, which occupied 4% of all the industry workers in international industry, that will be the that will increase in the future. And this is the graph of the transition of IT human resource needs in Japan. It is said that by 2030, we will be lacking over 450,000 IT engineers in the industry. So this is the reason why Japanese governments are trying to get the IT resources from abroad and also trying to grow up the IT resources more inside of Japan. So more and more IT engineers positions will be open up and keep opening up in Japan. So we will, this is the reason why we had this IT job fair for international talents in Japan, because we have more opportunities. Yes, so this is a summary. For IT engineers, the domain will be growing and keep growing. And also we will have more needs of IT engineers in Japan. And in addition, IT engineers have less language barriers compared to other positions. For example, salespeople, they are required to be able to speak Japanese as Japanese native speakers. But for IT domain people, since you have the common language, universal common languages, so it is said that the IT engineers tend to have less language barriers. Okay, so we will have the question and answer part in the very last of this meetup. So if you have any questions about the markets, please ask that. And also any questions and comments are welcome anytime on the chat. So if you have any questions come up, please leave the messages. So let's go to the second session. I will pass it to Dean-san, and please push it forward.
Hi, so thank you very much. I'm back again. It's Dean. So this session 2 will be talking about some companies, some job descriptions. So thank you, Tomomi. So CareerFly, we're the HR agency here in Japan. And what do we have here? We're here to mainly support the positions, to provide positions and to give the positions we mainly focus for international talents. And also we have more than 50% of positions are for the IT engineers. So this is why today we have this IT job fair. So as you can see here, we have 56% of job descriptions in IT for IT engineers, and also 100% of these job descriptions are for Japanese companies. So thank you. And here, so as you can see a Japanese map, and so where do international employees work in Japan? So as you can see here, the top 5 prefectures with international workers. Firstly, Tokyo, second, IT, thirdly, Osaka, fourth, Kanagawa, and fifth, it's Saitama. And today we will be introducing 3 companies, which is Caddy in Tokyo, Wirebeans in Sendai, and Weekly and Monthly in Sapporo. And the reason why we introduce these 3 companies is because actually these 3 companies allow to give opportunity for overseas candidates to apply to the positions. So these are your opportunities. So thank you. Hi, and then this next part is Caddy, and then I'll hand this back over to Tomomi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dean-san. So let me introduce the first company called Caddy. So this company is trying to transform manufacturing process digitalized and efficient, especially procurement process. In Japan, manufacturing domain is one of the biggest GDP industry, and many IT companies are actually getting into this domain and trying to make it digitalized. But most of them are focusing on the processing and manufacturing phases, and nobody is actually focusing on procurement. But actually, for procurement phases, we have 1.2 trillion US dollar market. So Caddy is actually getting the very big markets by themselves, and then collecting a lot of attention from the industries and also from other industries too. So last year they get like billions of investments, and also their sales is growing so fast. Comparing to last year, to this year's, their sales growth is 6 times plus. So they need more engineers. So this is, let me explain their business. So Caddy is again focusing on procurement part of the manufacturing. So when the customers, let's say the company which wants to create something, want to sell something, let's call this company clients or customers. When customers wants to create something, they need to ask manufacturers to create their products, or let's say create their parts. And without Caddy, or by today, customers needs to find the best manufacturers by themselves. They need to ask many manufacturers, and also manufacturers actually needs to create all the reports of what they can do, how much they need to take, and how much price they can, offer, and so on. Even though manufacturers don't know if they actually get this deal. So it's very time-consuming and cost-consuming for both customer and manufacturers. So Caddy get into this, in between, and trying to match the best customers and the manufacturers without spending so much time and so much costs. So the manufacturers can get more benefits out of that, and the customers can find the best manufacturers with very short term, and that industry will get much benefits, and can get also the Caddy can get more benefits. This is kind of like the structure. And this unique point of this Caddy is not only that, but also the CEO and CTO. CEO is from not from the IT domain, and neither nor manufacturing domain. He's from business consultant. So he's very good at solving business problems of the manufacturing domain. And also CTO is actually from Apple. So you can work from the cutting edge technology industry environment. And what this company different by the other country is maybe because of using Rust in back-end engineering. We don't see a lot of company which uses Rust, especially, but they are the one who uses Rust. So if you are the Rust engineer, this is the one to apply. So person to recommend, I would like to recommend this company if you are the person who wants to develop products from technical selection phase. Since they need to produce a lot of softwares by themselves, you can join from the very upstream, very early stage of the product system development. So if you like that, it's a very good ones. And also, if you are the person who loves to solve problems of users by technology, this is also the good one. And if you like to think from algorithm, yes, this is a good one too, because nobody actually never created this type of system, because nobody were in this market yet. So if you want to be the first person who wants to create something new, this is it. And with Caddy, we have AI engineer, backend engineer, front-end engineer, QA engineer, SRE engineer, and so on. There are let's say 18 positions. So if you are interested about their business, and also where the company is, and their business phases, please let us know. Let's discuss about this position. Okay, from my side, Caddy's introduction is over. So I will hand it to Disa.
Hi, so thank you very much, Tomomi. Thank you for the nice introduction about Caddy. This next company, we talk about weekly and monthly. And so as you can see, this company's name is Weekly and Monthly. And this company brings the new value into real estate domains using the IT platform solutions. And why do they name Weekly and Monthly? As maybe a lot of you know, renting a place in Japan, it's quite hard to do. And maybe in one time when you try to rent a place, you either have to sign a contract for a year or 2 years. But Weekly and Monthly provide the platform, the services, which you can rent a place for a short term, like maybe let's say for a couple weeks, 2 weeks, or maybe a couple months, but it's not like a year or 2 years long contract. So they provide this service which allow people to better using and enjoy the finding the place finding the convenience by using this place to using these services. And one thing a couple of things I want to add about this company is actually because they bring this new value to company that actually give us the convenience. For me, I'm a foreigner. I used to look for a house to stay in Japan as well. If I knew this service, my life would be much easier. The reason why I say this, it's because they provide a service which you can just bring one suitcase and you can go there and live. And what do I mean by suitcase? Usually, if you rent a place in Japan, you have to buy your own furnitures, you have to buy your own TVs, or you have to buy your own refrigerators. But weekly and monthly service, all of their real estate rooms, apartments, they're all fully furnished. So you can just bring one suitcase and then move into the place already. And another thing I want to bring out is, maybe you guys might know, in Japan, there's a kind of front-end fee culture. You have to pay some front-end fee in order to rent a place and sign a contract to rent a place. But for weekly and monthly, you actually do not need to pay the front-end fees. So that not only bring the convenience for people, but also bring the cost down for people who are looking for places, especially during the pandemic. Actually, weekly, monthly, they're growing. And maybe because of pandemic, maybe people are losing their jobs, or maybe people doesn't have as much income as before. So using this service, you do not need to pay the front end fee, which you can save some money. And it's what I just mentioned before. Actually, they one of the growing companies in Japan, and they want to expand their business into Asian markets. And so they're really strong in real estate domains. And also they located in Sapporo, Hokkaido, the northern part of the very north part of Japan. So the person who we would like to recommend to are the people who likes to work in teams with wide responsibilities and work in teams. Teamwork is very important for this company. It's the people who they're looking for, and people who are looking to accept wide responsibilities, and also people who would like to develop platforms. So it's like what their services. People who own their apartments, they can put their apartments or rooms on their services, and people like us, we're looking for where to stay. We can also go to a platform to find the places. So, and then lastly, people who like Hokkaido. Yeah, and the position currently available are the backend engineers and front-end engineers. So yeah, thank you very much. Hi. And then next company, this company named Wirebeans, and they provide the digital solution and digital marketing for their clients by using the Salesforce technology. So because they're very specialized in Salesforce technology, they can customize and try to bring out solutions to tailor what their clients needs. This is where they're special and strong at. And excuse me. And then also Wirebeans, they're very strong in e-commerce by using this Salesforce technology, and also they are one of the business partners, the official business partners of Salesforce, and they have won several marketing awards in Japan. And on top of this, I would like to add one thing is actually another story is actually Wirebeans, they would like to preserve some type of traditional Japanese cultures. As many you know, the shokunin bunka in Japan. Shokunin bunka in Japan is like the traditional handmade type of work, handmade type of products. Traditionally, we can only buy these type of products by going to some markets. But Wirebeans, since they provide the digital solutions, so they also provide a platform, a website where the people who make the traditional type of products bring their product and put it on the website, and they can preserve this traditional culture by keeping this with the society, digitalizing the product, so people can know this product exists, people can buy, so the people who make it can continue making it, and the people will carry on making this type of products. So preserving the cultures. This is one of the things that they would like to do and provide it for the Japanese society. And people who would like to recommend to it's by using the cutting edge technology, especially strong interest in e-commerce. If you have strong interest in commerce, could be a good place for you. And people who would like to eventually in the future would like to come to Japan and work. And also people who would like to work in teams as well. And the current position available is the backend engineers. So thank you very much. Hi. And then, so from now on, I'll be telling you how to apply for the positions that we have introduced. So the first one, since everyone here already participate in this meetup, and then Tomomi just sent it a questionnaire in the chat. So everyone, you can please open up that questionnaire and then fill out the questionnaire and tell us which position you're interested or the company that you're interested in and you would like to apply. And after we receive your emails, we will go through them and then we will send you an invitation to the casual meetings to talk about the positions and so on. And after that, we will discuss with you either me or Tomomi. We will discuss with you and then prepare the applications with you. So thank you. So now we'll go to the Q&A session. So if anyone has any questions, please, you can either leave it on the chat or you can unmute yourself and then ask us.
So maybe we should start from the questions on the chat. We had some questions. Okay, so first of all, let me tell the first one. Is remote work an option for weekly and monthly? Yes, it's kind of a yes and no. The reason is because during this pandemic and then while the border is actually closed, they can let you work remotely. But once the border is open, they actually prefer you to be in Japan. But if you are okay contract employee or working as a freelancer, they could consider that kind of position too. Okay, that's one. Any of these companies are near Osaka? So these three companies are actually one in Tokyo, CAD is in Tokyo, and Weekly Monthly in Sapporo, and also Wirebeans in Sendai. However, we have a couple of companies in Osaka. For example, one company is looking for front-end engineer and for their educational edutech platform, education cross technology. So if you're looking for job in Osaka, yes, please answer the questionnaire that I just shared with you and set the career discussion together with us. Okay, next one. Hi, I'm a data science analyst from India. Hi, nice to meet you. And have N5 level Japanese skills. Are there any positions available? And is there visa courses available and Japanese language training? Okay, thank you so much. And for the Japanese skill requirements are actually a little different between these three companies. For example, the CADI actually doesn't require any Japanese skill if you have great technical skills. And Wirebeans, they prefer conversational level Japanese language skill. And for weekly and monthly, they would like to require business level of Japanese skill. And when we say conversational business level Japanese skill, it could be said as conversational N3, business level N2. So as a data analyst, if you have strong data analyst experience, we can try CADI and other companies too. Okay. And is there any position for internship? Because I'm still in college, but I have full stack web developer skill. Thank you so much for asking. as a job description, right now we don't have the internship position, but since we are directly connected with these companies, so we can discuss about this with the company. So please answer to the questionnaire and please ask for the one-on-one session. Thank you very much for a lot of questions. Okay, let's go to the next one. What are the most needed technology in Japan? So depends on the position. Let's say if you are infrastructure engineer and server-side engineer, front-end engineer, the answer will be different. But if I would mention about the application engineer, and the popular ones were PHP, Java, Python, and C#. And also for front end, React, JS, and HTML and CSS, of course. But most likely, many companies are asking you to use any type of frameworks. For example, if you're using PHP, it'll be Cake or Laravel. And JavaScript, it'll be Node, Vue, React, and Java, Spring Boot, or like other like frameworks too. Okay, so Ashif-san, if you're not the application engineer, please let me know. Okay. So do they accept freshers? Actually, Caddy, they are looking for the senior engineers, but for Wirebeans, if you are the person who loves technology and creating something on your side, for example, your like personal projects or anything that you can, and if you can see, you can show that with, let's say, GitHub or any other type of portfolio, still we can try that positions. Any international multiple cultural companies with no Japanese speakers, only English? Okay, thank you very much, Lowen-san. I'm sorry, but CareerFly is mainly focusing on Japanese companies, and yeah. And actually in Japan, if you see the international companies, most of them are requiring Japanese language, because the reason why they put the Japan branch is because they want to get the Japanese market. So still, it's not necessary to find non-Japanese international companies to find the non-Japanese speaking positions. Like Caddy is Japanese company, but they don't require any Japanese if you have the technical skill. Okay, so the next one is what is the bare minimum of Jlpt? So it really depends on the company, and also it's kind of like a balance between your Japanese language skill or English skill and also your technical skill. So if you are the very good engineer who actually cannot take the place, cannot be replaced by any other engineers, or who has very strong skill that and it's really difficult to find the other candidates with your technical skills, and surely Japanese companies would love to hire without, even though your Japanese level is low. But if your technical skill is low, yet junior, since Japanese people would like to give you training in Japanese, so they will require a little higher Japanese. It's kind of like balance. Okay, so business sponsorship, sorry about that. So the companies which CareerFly propose can provide a visa sponsorship, so no worries. And for the visa which you will be taking as IT engineers, that to take that visa, you need the offer from the company. So that is a flow. So first of all, find a company, get the offer, and then you get the visa. So no worries if you can. So to get the visa, first step, let's apply. Okay, thank you so much. So Dinsan, do you see any questions that you want to answer on your side?
Please let me see. So I actually see a company here says, "Hi Tomomi, I have read that Japanese government will close the border again due to the new variant of outbreak. So does this affect the hiring process by these companies that just mentioned above?" So we believe it's like these companies, they still hires and you can work remotely for now. And this is what they're originally thinking of. That's why they were hiring overseas engineers. And so once the Japanese border actually opens, then you can get in. So I believe it won't affect the hiring process for these companies. Tomomi, if you have anything you would like to add about this question.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, that was very sad news for us to discover the new COVID type and the border is actually closed. But anyway, for workers, it was the border was closed anyway. So it was actually open for only technical trainers and also the students. So the situations for you actually hasn't changed yet. So in that case, from that point of view, we don't have to be that much pessimistic. Okay, and next one, let's say SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Azure, any requirement to work in Japan? Yes, let's say SQL is one of the basic technical skill that most of the Japanese companies are requiring. And Azure, yes, Azure is one of the very big technique, one of the technique that is getting popular in Japan. And Tableau, yes, Tableau is one of the most popular tools for BI and data analyzing stuff. So these three are very popular, but Power BI, it depends on the companies. And to get the data analytics position, since the data that you will be taking care of written in Japanese, you also could be able to require Japanese language skills too. Okay. Okay, Mylen-san, thank you very much for asking. If we sign with these companies, are we a CareerFly employee or they are direct employee? So we are only the agency, so we are not the hiring company. We will be directly hired by the companies we actually proposed. Okay. And others? Lisa, do you want to pick one?
I actually see a good question, and maybe you might have a good answer. So there's a question asking, I'm B.com graduate and I'm going to attend Jlpt N3 level exam in the coming December. So he asking what are the job for him or her, sorry about that, not sure, but if he learned a computer language like C, C++, HTML, Java, Python, can he get a job in Japanese companies? Get a job in Japanese companies, and what are the career opportunities for Microsoft Power BI learners?
Okay, thank you so much. I would definitely say yes for this question. Yes, you would have many opportunities. However, for fresh graduates, Japanese companies tend to require a little higher Japanese language skill. The reason is because the trainings will be conducted in Japanese. So it'd be nicer if you have if you can keep going after the December and trying to achieve it up to, let's say, N2. Okay, and the computer languages that you are learning are very popular in Japan, especially with the data related positions and also IoT and so on. So, and IoT domain is one of the top growing area in IT. industry. So if you like that one, you can just go with it, and you'll be fine, surely getting some positions. For Microsoft Power BI, there should be some positions, but we don't hear that often. For others, do you want to pick up this one?
So let's see. So there's a question asking, so for data science, we would require a bit of Japanese. So it's N4 level enough to enter Japan. So from my understanding, actually it's more as how you can communicate, because you here to work with clients and you here to work with clients and also work with teams. So if you actually can communicate very well, then it is possible, but usually sometimes company are looking for maybe N3 level or above. That would give you much more opportunities. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And go ahead. And others? そうだな。The salary part, maybe we could mention about. For salary part, let's say it really depends on the company, but roughly for freshers, it could be 3.5 million JPY to 5.5 million JPY, but the 5 million JPY offer company is kind of rare company. And for up to 5 years experiences, it's actually considered as junior, and that would be from 4.5 to 6 million JPY. And if you can actually manage the team, and then you can go up a little bit, and if you're the manager position, it'll be more than 7 million JPY, I would say. But it really depends on the company, and also your technical skills too. So I cannot say exactly how much, but this is roughly. But if you compare with, let's say, US, I'm sad to tell, but it's a little less, not little, but it's completely less than that your Western or American markets. Okay, thank you so much. So we are kind of like getting out of time. So let's pick up 3 more questions, Dean-san. And actually, please calm down, and please ask us again the questions that you couldn't get the answers from us right now by writing in the questionnaires. Let me add the questionnaire again on the chat. Here we go. So in there, there is like free space, so you can ask anything there, and we will answer the questions one by one. Okay, Dean-san, please pick 3 last questions.
So I see there's a CAD engineer asking a CAD engineer to see if there's opportunities, or which company would be good for CAD engineers. And this person also have done the N2 level of Japanese and currently in NVIDIA. So, and then also the visa questions. So in terms of the visa questions, that would be up to the hiring company. After you actually pass the interviews and get the offer, then the hiring company will assist you to get the visas. And then N2 level Japanese actually could give you a lot of great opportunities as well, not just for the CAD engineers, mechanical engineers, but also other engineers as well. And in terms for the good company for CAD engineers, Tomomi, would you like to answer this?
Okay, thank you so much. So so sorry about but today's meetup is for IT engineers, let's say software engineers, or like mainly. So we didn't explain about CAD engineer, but we have some other companies which has the position for CAD engineer. So yeah, if you are interested, please book our 101 session. Hi, Dean-san, let's do.
So next one, is infrastructure, network, or system engineer position hard to find in Kansai area with minimum Japanese skills?
Okay, thank you so much for your messages. Let's say for network engineers, and it is said that infrastructure engineers needs to actually give the support for the clients. So they tend to be required a little higher Japanese language skill compared to application engineers. However, I think there are some positions which will be in international companies. So yeah, to try, please give a try.
And then I see there's a question about sales. So if you like to know more about sales positions, you can fill in the questionnaire and we can have the individual one-on-one meetings to discuss about this part as well. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are kind of like running out of time. So let's thank you very much for that. And if you, I see a lot of people actually hiding your cameras, but if you can actually open up your camera, please open up because we would like to have a group photo here. So, okay, now thank you so much. And we have about 2 pages. Okay, so let me take two times of photo here. Okay. Thank you very much. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Okay. Let me keep going with the rest of the presentation. Okay. Go ahead, Disan.
So I also see a question, people try to contact us. So to get the latest information and try to reach out to us, you can actually go to our LinkedIn page. And to get the latest job information, also market positions and market information, open positions, and also get some news about COVID restrictions as well. And these two QR codes are my LinkedIn and also Tomomi's LinkedIn. So welcome to connect with us. So thank you very much.
Okay, and I have another introduction. So this is CQI, cross-cultural adaptation test. So if you wonder your cultural, if you would fit to Japanese corporate culture or what kind of company type you will adapt more, please try this test. You can. This is created for only for the international talents who want to work, especially in Japanese company. So this is for you guys. And you can see how much you have the adaptation for the different culture and also what kind of company or company type will be the best fit for your personality. And usually we have like 3 plans for this test, but today for only you who actually participated this meetup, we can offer a meetup discount. So you can check this on the questionnaire and too. So if you're interested, please just give it a check in the questionnaire and we can give you the detailed information about this. Okay, thank you so much for your time today. If you have any questions that you want to ask in the very last minute or about our LinkedIn or about CQI, please give us any questions on the chat. Is everything fine? Okay, and then let me share one more time the questionnaires. Please fill out this and also give us the feedback about this meetup. Okay. Oh, about the mail ID, if you actually fill out this form, we will send you the thank you email from our side. So you can get our email address from there. Okay. So I get another chat. Okay, thank you so much. I got thank you a message from Asif-san. So let's close close this meetup, Lisa. Thank you very much for participating today's
Thank you,
meetup.
everyone.
And yeah, we will have the meetup session next year, next month, in the end of the next month too. It will be December, but in the end of the year. So let's close our year happily together. Okay, thank you so much for participating. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
I will leave this room for next 5 minutes, so please fill out the correct questions. Bye.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。また来てください。